Hello to our audience and welcome to the MAPcast, where we shine a spotlight on leaders in the B2B space who have invaluable experience and insights that they can share with you. Today, we've got a special guest, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Thank you. Jennifer Walling with Metapyxl.
We actually have been looking at Jennifer's website and LinkedIn, and she's got a very interesting company. I'm going to let her talk a little bit about that. Jennifer, if you want, you're welcome to go ahead and give a short pitch for Metapyxl and talk to us a little bit about what y'all do.
Thank you. Thank you. So this is a startup that I founded with my sister, as a matter of fact. So it's in the family. And she's in New York. She's been a commercial photographer for 20 some odd years. And as that industry has gone from analog to digital, her work has gotten stolen ad nauseum so many times it's hard to count anymore. And I have been in the San Francisco Bay Area for the last 20 some odd years, but I have a sales background in medical devices. So I've been in the operating room and operating space doing consultative work on medical devices. How did this all come together that I'm now a founder and CMO of a startup? Be careful what you wish for. Being here in the Bay Area does kind of invoke that sense of creativity and the next big thing, right? So, having this problem existing with her and kind of getting sucker punched every time her work was stolen, because she really does define the term starving artist. She has amazing work, but it comes and it goes. And then with COVID, there was no way for her to recycle, her previous work and maintain any control. So maybe a Christmas cocktail or two, we started talking and tried to figure out there's got to be a solution out there where you don't lose control once you upload and try to promote yourself as a creator in this digital economy that we're now seeing. And as such, we thought we would go down the blockchain route. We realized that was an expensive methodology to try to solve this problem, but it really took us down a rabbit hole. Luckily, I invested in Bitcoin at about that time, 2017, 16 arena, but we've been
Nice.
marinating on this concept for that long. And frankly, there has not been a solution that has evolved other than what we now believe is ours. And so we took the get a patent route first. I'm not sure I would do that again. Although, when you're a startup and we are non technical founders, which is why we do love AI so much now. But
hmm
being a non technical founder, we didn't know what would be valuable since coding clearly was not going to be our strong suit. Myself with sales and marketing background, and then my sister and co founder and CEO, Tiffany, with her commercial digital photographer problem came together and strategized. I really think I can be additive in the sales and marketing role. I think that's where a lot of startups, they're either one or the other. I haven't found that beautiful complement of having a CTO, a CTO type person and a marketing and salesperson be in the same company at the same time very early on. So that's given us maybe an advantage.
hmm
We've learned a lot of things the hard way that, like I said, the patent route first off gave us some value, but I will tell you that it's 5 years later and we still managed to be paying on that patent, whether it's renewing it in Canada, renewing it in Australia. It's just been a much greater expense than we were under the impression. And we have another one
Wow.
pending and another one that we're using to submit to the NSF. But we did start at the IP level, and I might rethink that and come into that a little bit later in the timetable so that you're not having to just maintain your patent, which is actually quite costly for anybody.
So from the time that you folks went into this several years back, what's been the most challenging thing for you that you maybe didn't foresee coming?
The most challenging thing actually was a mindset of thinking that because my sister was the customer, her perspective was maybe the only perspective. And so we built this around her issues and her problems, which obviously she talked to colleagues and whatnot in the industry, and they all had a similar discrepancy with, yeah, we just have lost, we lose control once we go online, but what are you going
hmm
to do? She's sued several people and won, and changes that we've seen are that we call it content chaos. The amount of images, still images online are nothing short of growing, and it's in the trillions every day. And
Yeah.
85% of images are taken without any authority or licensing or contracting or recognition or anything, because it's just so easy to do so. And we're finding that images are everywhere, but control and revenue are not. So our patent is around adding a smart contract into the metadata, and metadata has long been overlooked as not that important because, frankly, even though folks like my sister and creators would always fill everything out because, hey, maybe something will stick and maybe I'll get
Right.
noticed somewhere before they strip it so much that my name isn't even affiliated with the work that I put out. We've found that the industry as a whole is seeing that there's just a Wild West problem. And so there are some attempts that we've seen. You're seeing people's names on images, I think, more and more today, which is at least giving credit to where it's due, but it's not monetizing. It's not hitting the pockets of these creators. And so we hope to be bridging that divide. And the smart contract patent allows us to use metadata, again, an often overlooked feature because it was easily scraped and compressed as these images moved around the internet. Well, when you do it in the way that we're hiding information into an image, it is resistant to compression. And that's really our big and main differentiator. So by compression, if you're going to also try to take out the attribution or say, take a celebrity who's holding up a article of makeup, say Revlon, and change it
Right.
to Maybelline, that's a huge, huge revenue loss for companies, for Maybelline or CoverGirl or whomever was really rightfully paid, say, Beyonce to hold something like a product up. And so we're finding that this has some leaning into counterfeit products, authorization that, this really is licensed to be here. AI is helping us geolocate where things are. We can track your assets, much like you track and tag a shark in the wild so that you can see,
Mhm.
where they go in the world and what their habits are and where am I getting the best bang for the buck in the tracking. And so metadata has been overlooked because it's been stripped so easily. But now we have a resilient 99% survivable metadata opportunity, and that is the linchpin for everything else that we allow you to do. Promote yourself, attach a smart contract for monetization where you can buy an image straight from the image on our platform.
I'm sorry. Do you find that the most typical client for you, is it the creator, or are you getting some corporate clients put together through your programs?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And we originally thought this would be a B2C product. Again, the archetype of my sister but she's frankly a small business LLC, her and her husband together. So, yes, kind of individual, kind of seems consumer, but that's actually an SMB client. Just as a 5-person media company is a small business. We are really going for B2B. So, what we've found is a nice sweet spot with DAM platforms, or otherwise known as digital asset management platforms. These are companies like Binder, Canto, Orange Logic. Shout out to all of our DAM counterparts out there. But they start and stop with organization of, say, 1 million assets. I mean, could you imagine? So if you want to filter by pink or by tennis shoes or tennis rackets or bikes, you have this filter criteria that a dam assists you with when you have
Right.
just millions of assets that under.
So you can get some damn assistance.
Yes, exactly. And organization. That's right. Some dam assistance. I like that. And we are now that next evolution, because that's where dam starts and stops, is just you've got all the stuff. Let's organize it for you so you can act.
Uh-huh.
Now, with DRM as the next step in the process, let's add a quick contract. Let's tag it so you now, company Adidas or Nike or Beyonce or Maybelline or whomever, really know, are you getting more traction and activity from such and such magazine or such and such website? Which region in the world? Maybe you're really appealing to Australia because you've got summer like clothes. It's winter here, but it's summer there. Where is your visibility coming from? And that's a huge thing for an artist. They put this stuff out there, they throw it on the wall and they wish for the best, cross their
Yeah.
fingers and hope they get recognized. And actually there's still no way for monetization to really happen directly. You have to go through a Getty or a marketplace that takes a severe amount of monetization away from the creator. And we really want to give that back by taking out the middleman. So I hope that answers the question.
Does. It does. And what an interesting business model. And now, if you kind of had a magic wand to improve just one thing about the way that you've approached this really unique business case, what do you think it would be?
If I had a magic wand to make something better, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, there just would be more of us. It's just she and I, and well, to the point of this discussion, AI, and of course, ChatGPT is everybody's friend now, but knowing how to
Yeah.
use it and really get the maximum results, we are by no means experts, but I will tell you, we've learned a lot. We've invested heavily in just stopping a minute on our fast-paced investor reach out and really let's work smart and not hard because we've been working
Right.
hard on this now for 5 years. We finally got MVP ready. We finally got a venture studio. NECX is the venture studio out of Palo Alto. They've been a phenomenal partner for us, giving us both money and developers and strategy and mentorship. And frankly, what they did, which was to my very, very first point, I got a little off track, but they helped us focus on not talking to Tiffany, my sister, because
Right.
frankly, there's a bias there. Our baby is beautiful no matter what.
Yeah.
But somebody else that is also a creator may not think that they need all those features, or this may not seem intuitive to them. I think we're finding out that creators aren't really experts in licensing because they've never actually had the opportunity to be dealing with that. They love photography, they love what they're visualizing and the storytelling that that offers, but there's really a disconnect between licensing and gosh, do I have to hire a lawyer, or how do I want to invest in copyright protection here? I mean, is this really ever going to be stolen? People just don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, my experience with the artist mentality, I have 6 children,
Oh,
and yeah, and a couple of artists in there. And I'm a musician myself,
oh,
in my
fantastic.
spare time, but the artist mentality is not, let's put it kindly, it's not very business focused.
So true, and that's the
Yeah.
compliment that my sister and I do give us. So, to your point, totally case in point.
Yep. Yep. So here comes the personal part. So if you could speak to your younger self, let's say before you got involved in this, what advice would you have given yourself?
Well, I think the advice, and I still keep trying to go back to that, is start with your customers. Start with who you think is got this biggest pain point. Don't let your own personal bias. And I'm telling you, they had to shake it out of us with NEC. Like, stop coming from just Tiffany's perspective, even though she's a phenomenal artist and very
Right.
well recognized. But even she's a starving artist. So talk to other people, talk to editors at magazines. What are their hotspots? And we've since NEC guided us to do that and take our own bias out of it, which I can just tell you is an extremely difficult thing to do. It doesn't matter what we think is going to be the next best thing. It matters what our potential customer thinks and and they may think it's a great idea and still not think it's worth paying $1 to $3 to protect your image. But we're thinking it's 30 to 45 to copyright protect. At least
Yeah.
spend $1 to $3 to get tracking information, promotion, having somebody buy it from you directly with a contract,
Is that per image or per track?
it's per image and it does
That's
stay as a cost as long as we're tracking it. So if it's 30 images that you want to do and you've got a campaign out there for 6 months, then you're
right.
only paying $30 each month though for 6 months, which is again
No, if you
big
value your
dollar.
assets and you believe in them, that seems like a pretty cheap price to me. I mean, I'm not the expert, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But, creators don't have a lot of money either. I mean,
that's true.
even the smaller businesses, it's a thin margin. So we are taking that into consideration. I know some of our quote competitors are upwards of $17 an image for every month that they want to track it. So we really want to create transparency and a digital renaissance. That's our mission at the core of what we do.
That's fantastic. But I wanted to express my gratitude. Thank you so much for joining us and helping us to build this Mapcast. Oh, and audience, thank you so much for your time today. And thank you for joining Jennifer and I. And we will be posting this soon. And we hope we get a big audience.
Thank you
All
and
right.
thank you for what you do as well.